You really are new around here, aren't you? Aquila's every bit as dangerous as it is beautiful. There are creatures out there that pose a mortal danger to anyone caught out in the open. Foremost among them is the Ashtar. They're quick, strong, clever, and damn good hunters. I'd tell you more, but you might not sleep so good. Thankfully, the wall keeps them out. Long as you stay on the right side of it, you've got nothing to worry about. You've got a few choices there. The cantina in the rock is famed throughout the settled systems for serving the best brew that credits can buy. The hitching post ain't been open long, but most folks seem to like it. If you're looking for a quick drink before moving on, give it a try. Aggie's is a bit of an acquired taste, you might say. Folks who prefer a venue that's a little more rough and tumble tend to feel at home there. Like I said, lots of options. Nice weather we're having, huh? The core is the oldest district and represents the original settlement dating back to the days of Solomon Co. The descendants of the original settlers still make their home there today. Frank's just the latest owner of the old Hassanove Manor, and he's the worst, simply the worst. But it's been a problem since the Hassanove family ran out of heirs. There's an old wrong the Cartwrights have been trying to right for decades. And hence, well, I need help. He's just another slick, rude, neon corporate hack, full of himself and just awful. I mean, the core is history itself. Cads like him don't belong here. I was right to talk to you about this. The last Hassanove was Sahar. Sad tale there. By all accounts, when she lost her last grandchild around 40 years ago, well, it broke her. She packed up and just plain left the estate. Built some farm far from Aquila City and the protection of its walls. It didn't take long before the Ashtar overran the farm, and just like that, no more Hassanoves. The Hassanoves were one of the early families that took to making a living in space. Very industrious, mainly miners. They settled planetside in the earliest days of Aquila City. They helped good old Solomon Co. a time or two, but they didn't fare well living in full gravity after a couple of generations in zero-G. Lots of health issues. Eventually, a string of just terrible luck left only lonely old Sahar Hassanove. Poor lady. And those that were healthy kept leaving Aquila. The call of the stars. Deadly as sin. My granddad warned her over and over it wasn't safe. So I need someone to go to the old Sahar farm, brave the Ashtar, and see if she left a will. I swear I'll honor her wishes. Aquila owes her family that much. And if it happens to kick Mr. Big Shot out of the Corps, well, that'll be a bonus. Sahar left no heirs, no instructions, so everything the Hassanovs owned was in limbo. What happened to the estate? Well, you'd have to be a lawyer to make heads or tails of it. But eventually it wound up on the open market, so slick neon corporate shills could grace our community. If she named any heir, we could get the estate back where it belongs. See things made right. You are a blessing. Sahar's farm is elsewhere on the planet. If you can't handle Ashta, please just don't go. I don't want this whole sordid story to have more tragedy. Be careful. Look out for yourself.
Next time, use your jetpack.
You have a nice day now.
There's something I need to talk to you about. Yeah, what is it? I have an important personal decision to make, but I need to discuss something with you first. No, not at all. This is something that's been weighing on my mind for a long time. I was hoping if I talked about it with you, I could get your opinion. That's all. Phew, thank you. So, where to start? Before I was with the Navigator Corps, I was career military, part of the United Colonies Navy. When the Colony War broke out, I was posted as the chief navigator on a warship, the Dauntless. In my case, I was third in command, which has a lot to do with the story. There was a particularly bloody battle. We were fighting over a world in the Eta Cassiopeia system. Worst fighting I'd ever seen. We lost 12 ships that day. 12. including my own. Economic reasons. Several of the worlds in the Cassiopeia system were mineral-rich. Both sides wanted to drop refinery outposts on the surface to bolster their supply. With hundreds of lives lost on both sides, I'd argue there were no winners at all. Now let me finish. The ship was barely intact. The captain and first mate died the previous day, which put me in command. A shrewd captain would have called for the crew to abandon ship, but I was so angry. I wanted to stay. I needed to fight. The Dauntless was a tough little ship. No shields and the hull was breached, but it still had power. And weapons. That's why I remained in the battle. Huge mistake. I believe you. But you haven't heard the worst of this. We fought for hours, but the damage was fatal. I gave the order to abandon ship and the crew piled into the escape shuttle. As the shuttle launched, I could see it was damaged. I heard screams before the radio cut. And last thing I saw, they were spiraling helplessly towards the planet's surface. There was nothing I could do. It was my duty as acting captain to be the last person to leave the Dauntless. We had more than one escape shuttle available. So, I elected to wait until they were safe. The ship barely had enough power for comms and life support. All I could do was watch them die. You're sorry. For me? If I hadn't been so stubborn, so eager to prove that I could handle command, my crew would have had more time to escape. My superiors. When the dust settled, the United Colonies gave me a medal. Can you believe that? A damn medal. I never even had a chance to find the shuttle wreckage and give my crew a proper burial. After I checked every section of the ship for wounded crew, I took the other escape shuttle. If I hadn't, I would have died. The Dauntless came apart minutes after I escaped. That's true, but still, it doesn't erase the real issue here. You once told me, no matter how hard you fight, there are some battles you simply can't win. I wish I had heard your advice long ago. Don't you get it? Everything I do, everything I touch, somehow falls apart. That's why I'm worried about us. Look, it's clear the two of us are becoming more than partners. We're becoming close friends. Even though I've pushed people away in the past, I feel different when I'm around you. I feel safer, comfortable, not afraid to admit who I am. I'm terrified I'm going to screw that up. After everything you've heard, all my stories, you still have faith. No one's ever cared about me this much. Not even Aja. I'm counting on that. Look, I think I've said all I can handle for now. Thank you for being there, for listening to me when I needed it the most. I'll never forget this. I promise.
Anything I can do for you?
Apogee kick complete. Orbit steady. Touching down. Should be plenty of organic materials to harvest from this world. gonna bury you. The last of them. Now I've lost my appetite.
I have something for you when you have a moment. Dust off complete. Looks peaceful from up here, doesn't it?
I have things for you.
Word to the wise, avoid the stretch. Fit and pack. Aquila City is always hopping.
It's tough living here. Do it on your own.
That your ship that landed not too long ago?
Like I said, be careful. I'd rather you forget. I wish my granddad was still with us. What happened to the Hassanovs never sat right with him. You got it! That's wonderful! But Blake Aldwell... Well, let me think back. There was a Blake. Might be we can track him or any surviving kin down. I'll get my lawyer on this. Frank Langston's in for a rude surprise. And we can maybe see a Hassanov return back to the core. No, he won't. But this ain't Neon. We've got real laws here in Aquila City. You've more than earned this. You've done the city a great service.
Hey, no funny stuff with that booze pack. Got enough light around.
Capacity?
97.5%.
Last time in service?
folk in the stretch. I try and
place
give
has
a
been in my
credit or two
family
to
for
the low house when I'm
We got the best rooms for rent in Aquila City, and one's got your name on it. How long do you need the room? I'll get you fixed right up.
A year or two back, I shared a drink with Ron Hope. That man can drink.
Well, hey there. Nice long rest, eh?
Okay. Hello.
If only our inspections have been more often.
We need to be smarter, better in the way we handle the ash stuff. Hey, how have you been? Staying out of trouble? I suppose you could. Things here have been, well, they're better. The ice has thawed a bit between me and Davis. We'll probably never be friends, but at least we're on speaking terms now. I think he finally appreciates the value of my research. Yeah, we're much better as a team, even if it is a cautiously engaged one. In fact, speaking of Davis, I have to confess, I'm a little worried about him. In analyzing the recent data, I've isolated readings suggesting that someone is making patrols far more often than in the recent past. I don't have any direct evidence, but I know it's Davis. It's gotta be. I'm worried that everything I've inadvertently put him through is kinda, I don't know, pushed him over the edge, or at least a little too close to it. I have recognized that Davis has an emotional reaction to my presence. We're on speaking terms, but he still gets agitated. I don't want to make things worse. I'm better with statistics and circuits than I am with people. I've already made a mess of this situation. Do you think you could go speak to him? If nothing else, it would ease my conscience.
I can't believe Bailey did such a bonehead move. Oh, brother. Why is it every time I see your face, I bet a headache's gonna follow shortly after? Mm-hmm. All broken up about it, I'm sure. So what can I do for you? Right to the point, then. Ah, that woman, I swear. Even though we've smoothed over most of the rough spots, she still manages to strike a nerve without even trying. No, I know she's not. Might not have believed it when she first showed up in the town, but she's been honest and on the level. When we were out there and we found that robot, obviously that threw me for a loop. Still can't believe one of my own people will pull a stunt like that, endangering us all. But the more I thought about it, that whole episode doesn't account for some of the tracks I saw out there. too large, too spread out. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. If there's a bigger Ashta out there, something meaner than what we've seen so far, I have to know. I tell you what, if you and Kiona are worried, why don't you just come with me then? Either I get an extra gun in the fight, or you get to laugh at the old man and say, I told you so. I'll give you a chance to gear up if you need it. And, maybe grab the biggest gun you got. Just in case. All right. You know, Keone showed me her data. We can make some real improvements in the future. You had a couple sets of data that she thought were erroneous or something. Seems to me that it might not be. Bigger, faster, Ashta sounds like it matches up with the tracks I've seen. But I tell you, I'm hoping she's right and it's just a glitch. And no need to tell her I said that. Wouldn't want it going to her head. All right, here we are. Let's head this way. I remember a story from the first time I was here on Tequila. I had totally forgotten about it till recently. Every so often, we get independent types who think that they can succeed where everyone else has failed. Some of them stride off into the wilderness, certain that they're going to make more credits than anyone in history. Mining, botany stuff, whatever. Warners just don't get through that. Most of them don't come back. One time, miner from some corporation or other, he drags himself back into the city. There's a house out there. The older guys all said he was delirious. For me, well, I would do as anything and just listen to him. Now, though, I'm wondering if maybe it wasn't just he's strong. Maybe he really did see something. Maybe I should have come out here a long time ago. That's gotta be it. No matter what happens, you make it back to the city and tell them about this. You hear me? That's one big son of a bitch.
Shooting at ghosts.
I didn't think we were gonna make it through that. If you hadn't been with me, no way I'd be standing right now.
There's no way we could allow that to happen.
I mean, it does and it doesn't, you know? We got out alive this one time. That's good. This ain't gonna be the last time we have to deal with this. Now that we know these things are out here, we need to track them and keep them out of populated areas. And that plan is gonna need everybody. So, I'm gonna swallow my pride a bit here and ask you to go tell Keone what we found. Let her know that her data wasn't an error and that she needs to focus on it. Looks like I can still learn a thing or two. Thanks again for saving my ass.
2 steps without running into a...
Davis should be more careful. The data shows the Ashta are more active. So, what happened? No, he didn't. There's no way Davis would say that, even if it's true. But it is true, isn't it? My data was accurate. You know, I was really hitting a point where I was starting to think maybe this was all a mistake. That I stuck my nose into something I shouldn't have. Davis was so certain they had everything under control that they didn't want or need my help. But they did, didn't they? Yeah, you're right. If anything, this has proven I should trust my instincts. I need to get to work on this immediately. But while I've been sitting around, I whipped up a little something for you. I thought it was funny. Now that I'm giving it to you, I'm hoping it's not in really poor taste. Anyway, thank you. Again.
Long way down.
If you're looking for a sidearm, I recommend Laredo's Firearm Factory. Built right here. There's rolling arms if you're not a fan of Laredo.
Sarah Filburn and her brother-in-law Henry were going at it.
Hope you've calibrated that thing.
I have something for you.
Don't rush the scan. You wouldn't want to overlook anything valuable.
I have things for you.
Perhaps something you might be interested in. Anything interesting in range?